I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
Melania Trump's $100 million lawsuit against The View isn't just another celebrity squabble. It's a cultural flashpoint igniting heated debates about media ethics, public image, and the fine line between free speech and defamation. The controversy erupted during a typical episode of the talk show, notorious for its fiery debates and outspoken hosts. What began as a routine discussion on Donald Trump's presidency quickly veered into commentary on Melania's personal life. According to Melania's legal team, the hosts didn't merely share opinions, they made bold, inflammatory claims. These statements, they argue, weren't just false, but deliberately malicious.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly, that's why I say it.
Before we delve deeper into this case, remember to like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest Hollywood news. During the episode, the hosts went so far as to claim that Melania didn't want to be First Lady, hated Christmas, and refused to sleep in the same room as her husband. They accused her of ruining the Rose Garden and implied she was merely an unwilling participant in her husband's political spectacle.
Allegedly, he was cheating while Melania was pregnant.
That was all. That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that won't come up.
We're in television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yeah.
It's like people should look at him and say, you know, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant. I'm not attracted to her big belly or something. And now she's paying attention to the baby and not...
These weren't offhand remarks. They were delivered with such conviction that the line between opinion and fact became increasingly blurred. What made this segment truly explosive wasn't just the content, but the tone. The comments didn't come across as constructive criticism or thoughtful analysis. Instead, they were dripping with ridicule, as if the hosts were reveling in the opportunity to mock someone they assumed would never retaliate. But Melania did push back, just not in the way they likely expected.
But apparently, his wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir. Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
To understand why this controversy has struck such a chord, we need to examine Melania Trump's public persona. Unlike her husband, who thrives in the spotlight, Melania has carefully cultivated an image of quiet dignity. She rarely gives interviews, avoids public feuds, and fiercely guards her privacy, an unusual stance for someone in her position. This reserved approach has made her something of an enigma. While some admire her for staying above the fray, others are quick to fill in the blanks with their own assumptions. That's precisely what unfolded on The View. By not actively shaping her own narrative, Melania left room for others to do it for her. In this case, the hosts painted her as bitter, disengaged, and trapped in a life she never wanted.
Individual freedom is a fundamental...
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
Wow. I mean, that is violent. They've got to stop talking like that about a former president who's had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, that's just...
For Melania, this wasn't just an attack on her character, it was a direct challenge to the carefully crafted image she has maintained over the years. In today's social media era, where narratives can go viral in moments, the potential for reputational damage is immense. So, she decided to take action. Melania's response? A $100 million defamation lawsuit, a bold and decisive move that sent a clear message: she isn't backing down. Her legal team contends that the statements made by The View hosts weren't just false, but deliberately harmful. They argue these remarks weren't careless missteps, but part of a calculated attempt to tarnish her reputation. Winning a defamation case, however, is notoriously challenging, especially for public figures. To prevail, Melania must prove not only that the statements were false, but that they caused tangible harm and were made with actual malice. This means demonstrating that the hosts either knew their comments were untrue or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. It's a steep uphill battle, but the stakes couldn't be higher. A victory could set a powerful precedent, compelling media outlets and talk shows to think twice before making potentially damaging statements about public figures. On the other hand, a loss could embolden her critics and reinforce the notion that public figures are fair game for even the harshest scrutiny. Let's take a moment to examine The View itself. The show has built its brand on being a platform for bold opinions and spirited debates, where no topic is off limits and the hosts are encouraged to speak their minds, no matter how controversial. To its fans, The View is a breath of fresh air, a space where women can openly discuss politics, culture, and current events without restraint. To its critics, however, it's a hotbed of unchecked bias and sensationalism. The show has faced backlash numerous times for the comments made by its hosts, and this isn't the first time it has been accused of crossing the line. What sets the Melania lawsuit apart is the potential fallout. A $100 million judgment wouldn't just impact the hosts, it could deal a significant financial blow to the network itself. Such a loss might force The View to reconsider its approach, possibly resulting in stricter editorial guidelines and a more cautious tone. For a show that thrives on controversy and unfiltered commentary, this would mark a dramatic shift in its identity. But among the many allegations made on The View, the claim that Melania Trump hates Christmas has become one of the most discussed. At first glance, it might seem like a trivial issue, but it taps into a much larger cultural debate. Christmas is more than just a holiday, it's a symbol of family traditions and shared cultural values. To accuse someone of hating Christmas is, in essence, to question their character and their alignment with those values. For Melania, who served as First Lady and represented the United States on the global stage, such an accusation carries even greater significance. This claim also underscores a broader issue: how public figures are perceived and judged. Melania has often been criticized for appearing distant and disengaged, and this allegation feeds neatly into that existing narrative. But is it fair to define someone's entire character based on a single comment or rumor? That question lies at the heart of this controversy, raising important discussions about how we view and critique public figures.
These are such vile comments, but they are exactly what The View's audience loves. It is targeted perfectly at a radically feminist, liberal audience that loves hate. Another now. This is loving and tolerant rhetoric the left uses, which they accuse the opposing side of using. And this one: those women are a danger to America. They do more than anyone else to stoke political and social tensions. The former president says he thinks his wife should be allowed to think for herself.
As with many issues in the Trump era, public opinion on this lawsuit is deeply polarized. For Melania's supporters, the lawsuit represents a necessary stand against a media culture that frequently oversteps its bounds. They view it as a way to hold powerful platforms accountable and emphasize that even public figures are entitled to respect and dignity. Her critics, however, see it as an overreaction and attempt to silence her detractors and control the narrative. They argue that public figures, especially those in positions of influence, should expect scrutiny, even if that scrutiny sometimes crosses into speculation. This case also mirrors broader cultural tensions. On one side is a growing call for media accountability, a belief that platforms like The View should prioritize fairness and accuracy in their commentary. On the other is a concern that lawsuits like this could stifle free speech, discouraging media outlets from taking risks or challenging powerful figures.
Listen, take him seriously and take him literally.
I don't think that we have to. I think it would be remiss of us to not say Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Yes.
He knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing?
At its core, this case is about more than just Melania Trump or *The View* gets about the evolving role of media in an increasingly polarized world. In an era where a single comment can go viral in seconds, the stakes for media personalities have never been higher. But with that power comes great responsibility. The question remains, are platforms like *The View* rising to meet that responsibility?
So what do you love most about your husband? His being, his humor, his personality, his kindness. He's very special. His positivity, his energy, it's unbelievable. Yeah, so we have a beautiful relationship.
Melania's lawsuit compels us to confront some uncomfortable truths about modern media. Where do we draw the line between opinion and defamation? Should talk show hosts be held to the same standards as journalists? How do we balance free speech with the need for accountability? These are difficult questions, and the outcome of this case could set an important precedent. If Melania wins, it might signal a shift toward greater media accountability. If she loses, it could reaffirm the notion that public figures are subject to even the harshest scrutiny. This lawsuit is more than just a celebrity feud. It's a cultural battle that challenges how we talk about public figures in the media. Whether you see it as a fight for justice or a calculated publicity move, one thing is clear: this story has everyone talking, and it's far from over.